You're in the nest out there in Hollywood.
I'm in the nest.
The liberal
yes.
nest.
Yes, it is.
And you've thrown your support behind Donald Trump.
I have thrown my support behind him, yes.
So how is that going in Hollywood?
It never goes well. Come on, let's face it. Look, I got hit up by TMZ's always waiting in the LAX. They're always ready to any actors that come out there. And this guy comes up to me and he says, you know, who would Jesus vote for? And I said, well, I've been lesser two evils. I would go along with Trump. I mean, you look at Hillary. I mean, does Jesus, does God support lying? Does he support killing? Not saying she's a killer, but she let people die in Benghazi, right? It wasn't just 4 people.
But
there was a ton of people that she left behind there.
Do you pose that question to your colleagues in Hollywood? Do you say, what has Hillary Clinton done?
Oh, I've always done that. I never really get an answer from anybody, you know? So I think, here's the thing. Pretty much my whole life I was an independent voter. I would really look at both sides of the issues. I grew up in Minnesota. My parents were Democrats. You know, Hubert Humphrey, Walter Mondale.
Good man.
Go Vikings. We're ready for the Vikings as well.
See, 2 Vikings. A lot of hopeful.
I grew up Lake Minnetonka. But you know, I also had great debates with my mom and dad about this. And you know, I think they were kind of sort of to wake up a little bit. As I tell, when we get in these debates in LA, I say, what do you think of JFK? We love JFK. Look at his 1960 inauguration speech.
Sure.
Tell me today that's a Democrat talking, not a Republican. Right. And his biggest thing is ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Kevin,
now we live in a country that everybody just wants free stuff, and it's not free, as we all know.
Indeed, and our education system, as we're going to talk about a little bit, reinforces that perspective.
Sure
it's a me culture.
It's a way to control the population.
And Hollywood just continues to contribute to that.
They do, and it's weird to me. I just think a lot of the big A-listers, I think, out there, I think they're so wealthy they can afford to be socialists, is what I also think.
But Kevin, so you make the distinction that you haven't endorsed Trump, but that you support him. Yeah. So what is your hesitancy behind using that word?
I just think I think if you endorse somebody, it's a special. I mean, look, I've golfed with the man. I had a wonderful 3 days golfing with him and Jesse Ventura at an event in Lake Tahoe years ago.
To be a fly on that wall.
It was a very interesting 3 days.
Amazing.
But you know, I'm definitely gonna support him. I'm definitely gonna vote for him because to me it's like, wow, what have we got?
Is there something that you don't like?
No.
Is it just the fear of you own everything when you endorse?
Yeah, I think that's more what it is.
Right.
I'm not against what he stands for, but I mean, I'm just, you know, just kind of the way I am.
Okay. Let me grab this book.
Okay.
They're Your Kids by Mrs. Sam Sorbo, who's joining us.
Come on,
your lovely wife. Sam Sorbo, come on in.
Scoot over.
Come on in. Men stand up.
Men stand up.
Sorry.
Nice to meet you.
So tell us, we were talking about education, and this is something that's so important. We were talking about earlier on the show, whether you talk about Hillary Clinton or the Obama administration, the policies in schools, whether you go back to George W. Bush, No Child Left Behind, and you look at the difference between the 2 candidates right now. We're looking at the education policies in our country. What does this book tackle? Why do you want to talk about education? Why is this so important?
Well, there's a reason that Bernie Sanders did so well in his run, and that's because we're raising a generation that supports socialism, because they've been taught that socialism is grandpa with candy, and they haven't been taught the truth that socialism has killed over 100 million people in the last century alone. So we are raising an entire generation of uneducated children. And not only that, you have to look at our civics. We're not teaching civics anymore. Fully 1/3 of the American population can't pass a civics test, and I'm talking about natural-born citizens, where 97.5% of immigrants who want to become citizens can pass the same test. Now, why is our government not teaching the citizenry about civics, about the role of the government? Our government is of the people, by the people, and for the people, and our government is not teaching our citizens that that is the role of government. They're teaching our citizens that the government is a nanny, and we're almost
I'm watching Kevin watch you.
It's that cradle to grave mentality. That's true, though.
And I'm wondering what your house is like, the conversations you two have, because you are so politically motivated and you are so vested in this country and where it's going.
Politics and religion, nothing controversial. It's a tagline for us.
Well, I love the title of your book, too. They're Your Kids. I mean, people assume you hand them over to the public school and they're gonna be taken care of. And your argument is, whether it's homeschooling, whatever, you've got to be watchdogs.
What has she said before to people? It blows my mind because it makes so much sense. People say, I can never teach my kids. So what you're saying is that through your public education, you have no knowledge at all to teach your 3rd grader how to do anything.
Wow.
How does that say about our education?
But you're willing to send them back into the same system that arguably is worse. 9 overhauls of our public education system in 27 years, not a single one of them has worked. and we're still knocking on the same door and asking.
Yeah, we throw more money at them. We throw more money at them.
Wow.
Yeah. We always throw more money, and it never.
So my point is, it's not that hard to homeschool. In fact, it's an incredible blessing. It is just as much work as sending your children to school. Only you reap the benefits of a great relationship with your children.
And they may actually know U.S. history and
they'll know U.S. history
instead of rewriting.
I'm trying to convince my wife of this.
And you will learn as well. It is the most incredible blessing to keep your children home with you and teach them yourself. It is simply not as hard as the school system wants you to believe.
Although we see these pictures of moms jumping for joy when it's back to school time, so it's a harder arm to twist.
How sad is that?
I know, it is sad.
That's depressing to me.
Before we get you guys out of here, I want to ask you about the new movie. It's called Let There Be Light with Dionne Warwick. Tell us about the new movie.
It's a wonderful movie that my wife wrote along with Dan Gordon, who's a great writer. Wrote White Earp with Denzel Washington. Hurricane with Denzel Washington. Right. White Earp with Kevin Costner. We just finished 3-4 weeks down in Birmingham. We got up here. Sean Hannity is funding it. He's exec producer. We got scenes with Sean on Monday. Sean, know your lines. And we head back to LA for more visual effects there. And we'll release sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas 2017. But it's a wonderful faith-based movie.
Well, if Sean drops out, if you need another news.
Okay, perfect.
I know a guy.
Well, Sean was a fan of the. I did a movie, God's Not Dead, a little $2 million movie, made over $100 million worldwide. Another one called What If. So this faith-based. There's a lot of people out there that want these kind of movies that have strong values and morals.
Kevin and Sam, thank you for being a light with what you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. The new book is called They're Your Kids. Check it out. Check out the new movie. Nice to see both of you.
Thank you so much.